I'm going to work on something a little different this time from some of these smaller bifaces that were given to me. Let's see how big they are. 2.5, 2.5, kind of circular. I'm not sure exactly if they're heat treated, but I'm going to find out. If they are, that'd be awesome. If they're not, it's okay. I'm going to start off with some steel and see how it goes. And then, if it goes well, I will use some aluminum to finish out. Okay. This one feels raw. First impression, yeah, it's all right. I'm going to whittle it down. I don't need it nearly this large for what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something a little different this time. Since this is so hard, this material, I might just use steel for the whole process. It doesn't really need to be that thin. I do need to preserve the length on it, just to keep it interesting. Got plenty of width for me to drive flakes. That's one good thing about the circular looking little bifaces. No, that's not good. Let's see. I don't have to worry about driving flakes with a lot of force when it's circular like this, because the tip won't snap off very easily. The only issue would be to send in too many incipient fractures with these hard hits. Why am I hitting it hard? So I can thin it to begin with. That way I can just focus on the shape. Thin it early and then I can just focus on the shape. And get rid of all the patina on this. I dug out the piece of glass that was under my fingernail there. I need to trim my fingernail too. But anyway, I dug it out. There was a little bit in there, but it wasn't too bad. Not too bad. If you didn't see it, you missed it. It's in one of the previous videos. I don't know which one. Yep, it's kind of steppy. Typical Texas chert. It's a little different from the landscape gravel or the gravel charts, but it's very similar. Yeah. I have some artifacts made with this speckled chert. It does heat treat well. If I recall correctly, you just got to experiment with it. If you're planning on heat treating this kind of stuff, you just got to experiment. It's all finicky sometimes. I mean, it's difficult to give you an exact temperature because some of these pieces will respond at lower temperatures than others. So you start the heat treatment at 300, maybe 325 for 4 hours, and wait till it cools down, take it out, chip it. If it doesn't work, go to 350 for a couple hours, let it cool down, take it out, chip it. Just keep doing that over and over again until you get to the consistency you want, and the stone is not hurt by subsequent heatings. You can heat it and cool it down many times without worrying about ruining the stone, as long as it doesn't get too hot. If it gets too hot, then it gets too brittle, or it breaks up in the kiln or turkey roaster or whatever you're using, campfire. If it gets too hot, it might just break up in the fire or in the kiln, or it becomes too brittle to knap easily. You can still knap it when it's really brittle, but it starts to give you diminishing returns. Yeah, I don't need it to be this wide. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll leave it wide. I still got to get some of that patina out of the middle. So, and I got to attack this steppy area. Let me see, let me arrange the camera a little bit better so that I'm going to have to start working on this side of the screen so that my hand doesn't mess up the focus. Even though I stop and pause and adjust the camera's focus to be on the workpiece, it doesn't stay on the workpiece. So I'm going to have to nap over in this area of the screen so that my hand doesn't mess up the focus. That's going to be an adjustment for me. Yep, but it's all right. I'll figure it out. Well, that should have gone further. Yeah, I can see why the previous owner of this biface didn't want to reduce it too much. It requires extremely hard hits to get it thinned down. And if you're using a billet, it's easy to snap the whole thing in half. With indirect percussion, you can get more accuracy, but those of you who are longtime watchers of the channel understand that. You know that indirect percussion is a lot more accurate, and you can do pinpoint attacks on the trouble spots. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit translucent, which is good. Cool. It's good because it'll look pretty. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the original surface there. I got to get rid of this steppy area. Okay. Starting to take shape. Some of it's concretey, like down here, but upper part is kind of translucent a little bit. Switch to a smaller flaker. This one's 1/4 inch. This one's 3/8 steel rod. 1/4 inch diameter, but this is a spike nail. It's either 9 or 10 inch spike nail, 1/4 inch diameter. Just bring your tape measure to the hardware store or whatever so you can get one that's a 1/4 inch. If you want to use one exactly like that one. No. Okay. Exactly like this one. Doesn't really matter too much, but some of you guys like to be exact. If you got the patience to whittle down the tips all the time, you don't need a diameter as small as a 1/4 inch. You can use a 3/8 inch, right, and just keep whittling down the tip so it's more narrow. But that just increases the maintenance time. I'll clean this up and shape it periodically as I get the feeling that it's got rock embedded. Because when it gets rock embedded in here, it'll crush the edge. So these edges aren't that great. I'm just expediently thinning and trying to remove the original surface. I think I got most of it. There's still some left in here. I'll just attack it little by little. Probably should have waited for it to be a little more narrow. Probably should have taken it down a little bit more. But we'll see. I'm just going with the flow. I don't have a specific measurement in mind. I think that the timer just clicked on for the lawn ornaments. The inflatables, so I may have to take a little break here and turn off the Christmas music if it starts playing. We'll see. When I'm on this side of the screen, you won't be able to see the mallet very easily. If you're just now tuning in, I'm going to be napping on the right hand side of the screen so the focus stays good. So I'm not interfering with the focus when my hand goes in front of the camera. In case you're wondering what I'm using, I try to put a pinned comment in the comment section to my video on my current tools. Sometimes I forget to do that, and sure enough, every time I forget, someone asks me, what am I using? Just do a search for Jack Crafty current tools, or just look down the list of videos. Come on. You're not that tough. I don't think you're that tough. It is tough material, but it's not all that tough. Alright. Now I gotta start thinking about shaping. I don't need to get it any thinner than that. So I can focus on improving the edge all the way around and make it conducive to running some more thinning flakes to get rid of some of that mess. I can pop some of that out, I suppose, with the spatula tool. It is tough material though. It's not that cooperative, but yeah, it worked all right. Okay. Steel pressure flaker. And this is when it gets tedious. Where do I start? Where do I know where to start? Is there like a method? I usually start in the worst area, because you get fatigued as time goes by. You don't want to be trying to nap through the toughest areas last. So I start with the toughest area first. I know that probably isn't the best way, I suppose. Some people like to have a home stretch where they put in all their energy at the end. So I suppose you can nap the easy stuff first and then at the end do your home stretch. Doesn't really matter. And it's one of those things that makes how they used to do it variable. It's variable how they used to do it in the past. You don't know if they napped the easy stuff first and then did their home stretch at the end, or nap the hard stuff first like I do and then do the easy stuff last. That's part of how they used to do it. Which way did they do it? Or did it matter? Did they just do it randomly? Sometimes they did the hard stuff up front, sometimes they did it last. Same napper, same material, same type of point, but different strategies. Yeah. You don't know how they did it. Is it important? Just try napping and you'll see. You'll get to understand that the procedure of napping is important, especially if you get fatigued with certain things. You gotta pace yourself. Sometimes. Not everyone has to pace themselves. Some guys can just nap right through everything. Doesn't really matter. They don't get tired. Difficult, hard, 1 hour, 2 hours, 10 hours, doesn't matter to them. They don't get tired. And it is such a thing. They feel it the next day or something like that, but not the first day. or not while they're doing it. Me, I start getting achy. And it's always been that way. Yep. I never really like to sit for more than 3 hours at a time. Although I will sit up to 5 hours at a time without getting up. I have been known to do it that way. When my posture suffers, it's already suffering a little bit. I'm slouching over quite a bit these days because I sit and nap a lot. I want to sit and nap a lot. I just don't want to be working on stuff that produces a lot of waste. So I'm not making any big points these days. I went through that phase over the summer, this past summer, and I ended up wasting a lot of material. More than I ever thought I would. And some of it was because of poor quality material, some of it was just fatigue. And that when you're tired, but you just push through and make it happen. In flint knapping, the push through and make it happen is not very effective in many cases. You know, push through the discomfort and just do it. And a lot of times you end up breaking stuff that you normally wouldn't break if you took a little bit of time to pace yourself. And at least with me, I do need to pace myself. But anyway, I'm doing damage control, trying to get rid of some of the steppiness. And let's see, without making it too thin. See, it's already getting pretty thin. You don't want it too thin because then thinning a thin piece is the most difficult thing in flint knapping. I want to try to get that step fracture out of there without thinning it too much. It's not cooperating, although I think I loosened it. Let's see. I might be able to pick it out. Yep, I loosened it by hitting in this direction, right? It started to dive underneath, kind of. So I just picked it. Now all the major issues are taken care of. There's no original surface anywhere. I don't see any really bad step fractures. They're just cosmetic little things that I need to fix. Yeah, with tough stone, trying to pick out the step fractures is not that easy. It's much easier to get good at using the indirect percussion to remove the nasty stuff. Alright, so what am I going to do? This is the basic preform for what I'm going to do. Yep. And now I'm just refining the edge. Refining. Getting it to be a little bit better for more flakes. I should be doing this with the pressure flaker, but it's so easy to do the percussion work on it. Or it's so easy to work on it with percussion that I'm going to stick with percussion until the very last minute. Or some of the real artifacts made only with percussion. Oh yes. How do I know? Because they don't look that great. You can't be that bad with pressure. Yeah. Some of the points look pretty bad, and it looks like they just did it with percussion. There's no precise flake removals anywhere on the artifact, except maybe the tip and maybe the notches. Yep. Alright, so I got rid of that step fracture there. It's looking alright. Yep. Alright, let's see. What am I going to do? I'm going by memory. I have my tablet now. I can be looking online for a pattern and then using my tablet as a reference. But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's better I don't bring my tablet out here, because I think the first thing I'm going to do is accidentally drop one of my steel tools on the tablet and break the glass. Yeah. So it would be best if I just drew a pattern or cut one out of cardboard or something. Cardstock, I mean, not cardboard. Cardstock. Those little pauses are when I stop the video and restart it. Yep. Why do I do that? So the sound will sync better. I'm having trouble with the sound syncing to the action when on these long format videos. Yep. Alright, so these things I believe have a lot of variability in nature, so I'm not going to sweat it as far as the shape. I just want to get rid of some of the step fracturing with some pressure flakes. Hopefully it'll work. The edges are not perfect. They're expedient. So if I have a little bit of stepping going on in the final finished product, it's alright, I don't care. I'm not gonna, I don't care up front. To begin with, I'm not worried about it. So I'll probably end up with a few step fracture looking areas. But I'll try to get rid of most of them. Yeah. Let's see, what do we do here? It's pretty thin. I don't know. I need to get rid of this. This looks messy. I can attack it from either side. Let's see how it works. Let's try to take a shallow flake and try not to snap the whole thing. I'm going to break with my usual technique and go for the long flake first and see if I can get it with the long flake. And if I can't, I'll do the short one. I think I normally just attack it in an easy way first, but in this case it looks like the closest flaking opportunities are just going to hit a step fracture. There's no clear attack from the front, so this looks like it might be a little more smooth as far as the flake path. So that's what I'm going to try. Let's see. And I'm right in the middle of the point, which is not that great because it could snap. Could snap right in the middle. Did it do it? Yeah, pretty much. And now I can take one from here. I already got it ground down a little bit. It's not enough though. Gotta be safe. I'm gonna be hitting it hard, but not that hard. Yeah, it's close. It's close by. Yeah, I should have hit it harder. Yep. Oh well. I can't be messing with that area too much because I'm going to have to, I need that mass there. I need the mass in the corners here for what I'm going to do in a minute. I need to straighten out that tip, make it look better. Take the lumpy spots off the tip. There's a lump right there. Did I get that on film? Barely. I got too anxious, I didn't check. That's pretty smooth all the way around, so I don't have to mess with it too much. No step fractures at this point, please. There we go. Smooth. That's the goal. Smooth. Everything's smooth. Why? Because it works better and it looks better when it's smooth. It does work better. If you've used these things, a smooth surface works better for cutting. Yep. So the Christmas music didn't start playing. That surprises me. Is the float working? Yeah, the float's working, but no tunes. That's all right. That's good. Did I say the float? I should have said the inflatable. The inflatable is working, but it's not playing the little Christmas tunes. So I don't have to get up and shut it off. Yeah. Mostly downward pressure. I don't need to drive these flakes. Alright, so I've made one of these before. So what did I do? What was the easiest strategy? Did I work on the tip first and then move my way down for the final shape, or did I get the base done first? I don't know. I can't remember. These are inward because I'm trying to thin it down. So that's it for thinning. I'll put little serrations in here in a minute. There's a lump here though. Let's see. Oops, it slipped. I can't have it be slipping because then it'll be step fracturing. I normally don't put this much attention into the edge. Because it doesn't matter too much on a reproduction. But for this, it's gotta look, it's gotta have a certain look to it, so I'm trying to be very careful with it. Alright, so let's see, let's put in some serrations, shall we? Yeah. Okay, what are we going to do here? Put in the big ones first and then the little ones? I think we'll put in the big serrations first. Yeah, definitely gotta figure out this camera focus thing. Why does it do that? Yeah, I'm gonna have to refocus it every time. Come on. Every time I flip it over, the camera forgets what it's supposed to be doing. I want nice pop outs. Yep. Because they look good. Oh yes. Is it doing it? Am I getting the results I need? Yeah, not too shabby. I think I'm gonna have to take it down a little bit more though. Yeah. Oh well, so much for that nice little pass. I'm gonna have to take it back a little bit more. And then match up the other side. I don't think these things were symmetrical. But oh well. I'm going to do another pop out. Yep. Yeah, that always happens. I just took off the tip of that. Alright, let's try it again. Luckily I have some room to work with. I hate that though. Why did I want to go deeper? I just wanted to, you know, accentuate that. Hold on, let's start on the other side. Let's do the other side, see if we can get some good results on the other side. I keep wandering down, but I can't put the camera any closer to myself without bumping into it. Very gentle on the barb side over there, and then put most of my force in this corner. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. Gotta clean it up. Clean up the bottom of that notch so I can push. Nice. Now, I want to pop out on both sides, not just one side. Yeah, it's going to have to suffice. It's going to have to be good enough. Yeah, it'll be a little bit asymmetrical, but oh well. Yeah. Are you falling asleep? Good, because I think the sander probably woke you up. All right. I'm using this so I can run flakes a little bit better. Yes, copper does work a little bit better than steel for running flakes sometimes, yeah. I notice that copper is grabbing the edge of this very well. So I'm going to use it. If it grabs the edge well, you don't have to abrade it as much. I might be able to drive a flake in here. Come on, focus. Might be able to drive a flake in here to get rid of that. Now that I'm taking this edge back some more. Yep. See, can I drive it with the copper? I might be able to drive it with copper. And if I can't get it from here, I'll just get it from the base. Here we go. Not much pressure required, and I don't think I got what I needed, but it's alright. Yeah, so that's the basic shape. I just need to clean it up now. Yep. Just need to clean up everything. Come on. I'm having to nap way out in front of me. Way out in front. Little quirky things about the camera. Although I tend to drift downward anyway, but this is even worse with this particular camera. I don't know why. I don't know why. See, there's a little booger spot right in there. What is that? I don't know what that is, but it bugs me. Use the zoom, you say. Use the zoom. Is it concretey? Is that what that is? Probably. That figures. Yeah, that figures. A little bit of concretey stuff right there. That's a crystal pocket. You can see a little sparkly in there. Yep. I'm going to exaggerate these serrations a little bit. I should be paying attention to thinning it down. Oh well. Because you can be thinning and doing serrations at the same time. Yep. It's true. I think they did that a lot back in the day. Come on. I don't know, it's all kind of steppy in between the serrations. can't do it that way. It's much easier to do this when the material is not coarse and raw. I should be doing smaller serrations. Okay, that was ridiculous. How blurry that was. I'm trying to thin it down now a little bit by pressing in between the serrations. Come on. I didn't have problems like this before. So it's distracting me. I forget where I'm at. Where am I at? I don't know. I don't like it. Nope. Serration's too big. I have to symmetritize it. It's driving me insane. Yep, I gotta make it symmetrical. Why am I sweating these serrations? I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. Alright, I'm going to stop messing with that part. Too much messing. So yeah, I can't talk and do this because every 5 seconds I gotta be looking at the focus. And I gotta try to adjust it, but the camera forgets. It forgets after just a few seconds. I don't know. I'm going by memory, so I don't know if it looks right or if it looks plausible. It is asymmetrical, but I think it's fine. Yeah. Okay, a little more to go and that's it. After I finish it, I'll look at pictures and stuff and see if it's reasonable. I'm gonna thin that a little bit more in the middle there. But first, I need to set up the edge for some flake driving. Yeah, and I should not be flake driving at the very end because the tip could snap off. Yeah, I know. Something doesn't look right. I don't know, it looks too wide or something. It is asymmetrical. That's not the thing. That's not the issue. It just doesn't look right. But I don't know. I can always adjust it later. Yeah. So a few thinning flakes. Yep, I just want to do a few more thinning flakes. And clean up some of the nasties. If I can. If it cooperates. It doesn't want to cooperate. It kind of does a little bit, but I'm gonna have to get aggressive with it. I don't know. I think that's the closest I'm going to get. Yep. Okay. I don't know. It might be too wide. I don't know. Maybe not. Just a little more evening up on the bottom. Just even it up. Even it up. I think the bottom or the base on this, or the stem or whatever you want to call it, needs to be more regular than the blade, just so it looks more realistic. Yep. Turn it over. Is there a bunch of step fractures? No? Okay. Cool. I'm going by memory now, so if I mess it up, I can fix it later. If I'm messing it up, I'll fix it later. Okay, good enough. Even I'm getting a little bit tired of this piece. Yep. I should be more careful on the tip, huh? Yeah, I should be more persnickety up here. Hold on. Okay. Same old problem. I'm not liking these serrations, but oh well. I should sharpen my copper tip. Is that good enough? Good enough for me. Yeah. The tooth itself should be longer, I think. But I think it's a good use for that shape of a biface to begin with. If I do say so myself. And I do. Is it translucent? Yeah, it's a little bit. Okay. Yeah. I do kind of like it. Let's take a picture or two. Let's see. All right, that's it.